My dear friends, Annecy is more than a city embraced by the Alps and reflected in the stillness of its lake. It is a sacred landscape where faith and history meet and where the lives of saints continue to breathe. To walk through Annecy is to step into a living pilgrimage where every street and sanctuary carries the memories of devotion. Here St. Francis de Sales, the gentle doctor of love and patron of the missionaries of St. Francis de Sales, taught that holiness is not the privilege of the few, but a possibility for all. With patience and wisdom, he sowed the seeds of devotion that sanctify the duties of daily life, reminding us that every heart can be a dwelling place for God. By his side, Saint Jane de Chantal gave shape to the visitation family. Together, they envisioned a community founded not on extraordinary austerities, but on humility, simplicity, and love. Their witness opened to the world a new path of holiness, one that shines through the ordinary and the hidden, as much through the heroic and the great. From this soil also rose Fr.PETER Marie Mermier, their spiritual heir and the founder of the missionaries of St. Francis de Sales. Listening to the cry of his time, he responded with courage, "I want missions," sending forth missionaries aflame with Salesian spirituality. From Annecy's narrow streets, the flame spread across continents, a fire that continues to burn brightly today. Every landmark in Annecy carries a message. St. Peter's Cathedral still resounds with the eloquence of Francis's preaching. The Church of St. Maurice and the Shrine of Notre-Dame de Liesse embodies centuries of prayer and faith. The symmetry of the early missionaries bears witness to lives generously offered without reserve. Yet, at the very heart of Annecy stands the Visitation Basilica. Here rests St. Francis de Sales and Jane de Chantal in serene majesty. And here lies Father Mermier, whose silent tomb speaks with power, urging his spiritual sons and daughters to continue his daring mission in every age. In Annecy, history, holiness, and mission converge, not as a relic of the past, but as a living call for the present, to embrace devotion with depth and to carry it to the furthest ends of the earth. Live Jesus.
Dear friends, greetings from Annecy. This is the gallery house and chapel. Let's learn more about this from Sister Dominique, belonging to the congregation of Sisters of St. Joseph of Annecy.
I am Sister Dominique of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Annecy. I am here to explain the places where St. Francis de Sales and St. Jane de Chantal had been to. Here we are in the courtyard of conference. This place is known as the courtyard of conference because St. Francis de Sales used to come time to time, meet the sisters over here and give them spiritual conferences, talk to them, discuss things with them. Now we shall move to the Cradle of the Visitation Order. Where we are now is the Cradle of the Visitation Order. And the door that you see, it's the original door used by St. Francis de Sales and St. Jane de Chantal. We shall now enter the oratory. St. Jane de Chantal came to Annecy in the spring of 1610 in order to start her religious life. The Bishop Francis de Sales had looked for a house. At last he was happy to find a hive for his little bees. This room, presently an oratory, had been transformed into an oratory, which was a cellar where people used to store things. Gallery House and the Chapel, Annecy. This is the place where St. Francis de Sales and St. Jane de Chantal, united in prayer and charity, gave birth to the Visitation Order. Here faith and devotion came alive in humble hearts, shaping a community dedicated to holiness and love. May this place inspire us to live with the same spirit of prayer, humility and service.
Dear friends, it was so nice listening to Sister Dominic. Let's learn more about the second monastery of the Visitation.
Convent and Chapel of the Sisters of St. Joseph, Annecy, founded in 1634 by St. Jane de Chantal. This convent became the second monastery of the Visitation in Annecy, flourishing until the French Revolution. It stands as a testament to the devotion, prayer, and dedication of the early Visitation sisters. Through their contemplative life and service, they carried forward the spirit of St. Francis de Sales, spreading holiness and charity in the community. May their example inspire us to live lives of prayer, service, and unwavering faith.
Dear friends, what a beauty and inspiration to have the statue of St. Francis de Sales near the lake of Annecy. Let's now listen more about this from Father Edward.
The statue of St. Francis de Sales was erected in 1924 by the Academy Fleurimont.
It portrays him seated as a gentle and wise bishop, holding a book that reflects his rich spiritual and literary legacy. The monument recognizes him as a Bishop of Geneva, Doctor of the Church, and a beacon of faith. Its inscription honors his life of holiness, learning, and pastoral charity. Today, the statue stands as a reminder of his inspiring guidance and the Salesian spirit we strive to live in.
Wow, that's great. Let's now know about the Perrière Gate.
Here on January 31st, 1621, St. Francis officially welcomed his brother, John Francis, who had been appointed his coadjutor.
With a gentle wisdom and deep faith, he guided him in service to God's people. This movement reflects St. Francis' spirit of charity, humility, and devotion. May his example inspire us to strive faithfully and trust in God's providence.
Dear friends, we learn that St. Francis de Sales was a spiritual director and confessor. Let's know more about him in and through this Palais de Lille.
Former prison, which the Bishop Francis de Sales visited frequently and used to hear confession.
Here, St. Francis de Sales, our gentle patron, often came to this former prison to hear confessions and bring God's mercy to the imprisoned. With patience, humility, and love, he touched the hearts of every soul he met. May his example guide us to serve others faithfully, bringing light and compassion wherever we go.
Dear friends, we are familiar with the word Philotheia. Who is that Philotheia? This is her house, Madame de Charmoisy. Let's learn more about it.
Saint Francis wrote a short treatise on the spiritual life for her. This was the basis for the introduction to the devout life, first published in the year 1608.
In this home, St. Francis de Sales nurtured hearts with his spiritual guidance, inspiring a life of prayer and devotion. His reflections here became a lasting gift for the faithful, encouraging us to live each day with a love for God and neighbor.
One of the spiritual classics of St. Francis de Sales is the treatise on the love of God. It is in this house that St. Francis de Sales writes about it, and that is the house of President Anthony Favre.
The residence of Saint Francis de Sales from 1610 until his death. It was in this house that the bishop and the president founded the Academy Florimond. Francis wrote his treatise on the love of God here.
St. Francis de Sales nurtured hearts with his spiritual guidance, inspiring a life of prayer and devotion. His reflections here became a lasting gift for the faithful, encouraging us to live each day with a love for God and neighbor.
Priesthood is a precious gift. This is the monastery of the poor Clares, where St. Francis de Sales liked to ordain his priests.
A plaque recalls the site of the former monastery of the poor Clares, expelled from Geneva at the time of the Reformation. Saint Francis liked to ordain his priests here.
A simple plaque marks the place where the poor Clares once lived before the Reformation. St. Francis de Sales often came here to ordain his priests, turning this quiet spot into a space of prayer, dedication, and new beginnings.
Dear friends, we all of us treasure and cherish that which is so dear to us. And something like that for St. Francis de Sales is this place, St. Peter's Cathedral. Let's learn more about it.
St. Peter's Cathedral, built in 1535, was formerly the church of the courtiers. St. Francis was ordained priest here December 18, 1593 and officiated as bishop from 1602 until his death in 1622. His remains were venerated in this church from 1806 to 1826.
St. Peter's Cathedral is the place where St. Francis de Sales was ordained as a priest and began his mission of gentle service. May it inspire us to live our calling with the same trust and love for God.